Good evening, everyone. This is Henry Gambell with simpleroptions.com, and in today's free video I wanted to do a little bit more of a recap because, as you take people's advice or as you try to follow along with trade ideas, I think it's always important to acknowledge, when that idea is no longer any good versus when we should continue to sit and pursue these ideas. I've been covering Apple with you quite a bit, and several things that I continue to like about the daily chart. And mainly, it is the respect of this 8 and 21 moving average off of the daily chart. I found that using just one of these never really gave you enough of a zone to make a decision off of. It's a little bit easier to be shaken out because you can see just kind of the way it oscillates between those individual moving averages. But as soon as you create the second one with it, well, then you've given yourself a zone. And it helps you make sure that you're trading with the trend, and also gives you an area where you know that this is a good place to be focused on buying. So not only did I continue to like the relationship of the 8 and 21, but you can also see that from the previous swing low against the swing high, we are just a little bit above a 618 retracement. As long as you can hold those 618 retracements, those continue to hold in well for bullish moves. And then when you come back and look at it with these intraday squeezes, which a 195 obviously is still a pretty large time frame, but it does give you a slightly different perspective than just the daily chart. So we were able to take an Apple entry today, and that closed very well for us. I am looking for new highs as we get into next week, and if you've been following any of these ideas for the past 2 weeks, provided you are able to position size in a way that lets you hold on, well, then those all became profitable today. A couple other places that I think are just good for review and kind of show you the main thing that I try to do with my trading. It's that exact same concept that we just discussed on the daily chart of Apple relayed over into Win. So here's the daily squeeze. Remember that this is included in thinkorswim automatically if you are using that platform. So this is the first reason why it becomes interesting to me. Exactly the same concept, and back in here maybe you could argue it a little bit, sure, but if you got shaken out on that move, this is a great opportunity to be picking it up again. And then we were in position when those numbers came out that gave us a great result for the gaming stocks. So that all looks great. And then one last one, because this is the type of stuff that you want to be looking for in this market. Just coming out and buying the outright indexes is not, that's not the trade, I don't think. I think coming in and looking same thing. You see the daily chart here and the move that FedEx had. Well, you may look at this and say, how can you really argue the chart of FedEx to the buy side, because all of this was just noise. That's not respecting the moving averages I spoke to or anything else. That's where coming back to the weekly chart brings so much clarity in these. And it's slightly different moving averages, but it's the exact same concept. They're a little different because you're analyzing a bigger time frame, but you can see how when you come back down into these zones, this is generally an area that tends to be respected. And look at the consolidation on this weekly chart. That's a huge squeeze, and I don't know what that's going to bring, but I know the potential that it holds, and then I can evaluate the amount of cash that I'm willing to risk to participate. Also in this, you've got earnings in FedEx that are the series is 21 days out that we've been playing for it. So you pick up those 190 calls. Ideally, you see an increase in volatility. Ideally, you're also on the right side of delta. And then these can make for some really solid setups. So this is what we've been pursuing in the chat room. This is what I continue to find the most helpful in this type of an environment. And these are the signals that you can search for your next trade. So I hope you found that helpful. I wanted to make sure that you are also aware of the live stream that we are going to be having of our mentorship. So the active days of trading are going to be the 12th and 13th of June, so right at a week away. And if you're unable to make the trip or whatever it may be, I think this will be an excellent alternative that will allow you to still participate in what we're going to be covering, and I'm looking forward to some great trading. So I hope that helps. You guys have a great weekend, and I look forward to speaking with you at the next free video.